boy, this is good. I have been looking forward to this show all week. All right. Just going to get into this. So, welcome to the CXM Experience. And I am Grad Khan, the CXO or Chief Experience Officer at Sprinkler. And I've got a great experience for you today. As you know, every week we talk with Neha, the Breath Yogi, and today is no exception. So Neha, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks. Thanks for having me. How are you doing? How's your week?
It's crazy.
Good crazy, bad
I don't say that very often, but it's been a wild ride. So you know, I want to can we just get started? I need some kind of centering breath. Get me breathing properly because I'm having trouble catching my breath. I was actually doing a keynote about an hour ago, and about halfway through the keynote, I realized I hadn't taken a breath yet, and I had to actually stop right in the middle of a sentence and go. or pass out. Those are my two alternatives. Pass out or breathe.
Oh, no, we don't want you passing out, please.
No.
That's not the experience.
You gotta get me back on track here. So give me something. Let's start with an exercise, and let's start with that. Let's get everyone in the audience ready to go, and then we'll have I need to talk to you about support systems today. So let's do that after the breath breathing.
Okay, let's get right into it. And I want to start with the 16-second breath, something that we talked about the last week. And so let's just get started. Just sit up nice and tall, bring your shoulders in line with your hips, place your palms on your thighs, open to the ceiling. And if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes, take a deep breath into the belly, breathe into the chest till your collarbones lift up just a little bit more, hold the breath. And just sigh it out. We'll do that just one more time. Full breath into the belly, into the chest, till your collarbones lift up a little bit more. Hold the breath. And this time, breathe out slowly through the nose. And notice as you're breathing out, the body's getting relaxed. So relax the body totally, drop all your effort. And on my count through the nose for the 16-second breath, breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath out. 2. Breathe in. Let the air expand your belly. Breathe into your chest. Hold the breath. Even as you're holding, do not tense the body. And as you breathe out, gently pull the navel in. Breathe out for a little longer. Hold the breath out. 2. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2. Last 2 breaths. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2. Last 1. Breathe in. Keep your full attention on the breath. Hold the breath in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath out. 2. And relax. Let the breath return to normal. And just for a moment, bring your attention inwards. And just check in with yourself. And when you're ready, you can slowly open the eyes.
It always feels like longer than 16 seconds.
That's so interesting.
But it's great.
That's
a great centering breath. I feel better already. Yeah.
I mean, our perception of time is different than time.
That's true. Well, one of my favorite things, which not everyone always understands this when I say it to them, but time appears to go faster as you grow older. And
Mm.
people go, "Oh, it's because you're busier." So, not really, because often you're not that busy at all. But the reason why is this thing called the time dilation effect. The time dilation
Mm.
effect is that our perception of time is relative. And so when we think about a day, our perception of a day and how long a day should be is relative to other days that we have had. And so when you get older, each new day is a smaller percentage of your total days than the day before.
Mm.
Like when you're a 2-day old baby, your second day is 50% of your lifetime. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But when you're
Mm.
50, then the next day is a very tiny percentage of your lifetime. So they perceive to go by faster because of this effect of the days are actually a smaller percentage. And that's what we're perceiving. There's this other really interesting thing, which is if you ever notice when you're trying to find an address, or you're in a new neighborhood, you're trying to find a business or whatever, when you're looking and you're driving on new streets or on a new area, it seems to take a long time to find it. And then once you find it and you drive back, going back home, you think, oh, it didn't seem that far actually, but it seemed really far when I was looking. And it's because when you're bringing in new input, the brain's working really hard to sort of manage all these new stimuli. But once it has them all, when you're going back, it's like, yeah, I know this. I don't need to worry about it anymore. Which is why they say it's always a good idea to always go on vacation to places you haven't been to before. Because if you've ever been on a vacation to a place you've been to before, the second time you go to vacation there, it just goes by really quickly because you're not absorbing new inputs the same way you were the first time. So
That's interesting. And actually, that's the whole preface of automating, self-automation. So you learn the new behavior and then you automate it, then it doesn't take you so much time and energy to do the same thing every day. That's why especially a huge part of self management is self automation, and that's why that whole focus on habits and rituals. But I did want to touch upon that time thing. It's very interesting, and usually I see this with a lot of executives. They're like, "Oh, I have just like a quick 20. Can we like do a quick 20-minute meditation?" So the quick perception, it's like 20 is 20 minutes. Or if I have 5 minutes for meditation, I have 5 minutes to breathe, it's 5 full minutes. But if in your mind you're in a rush, like 5 minutes, like it just seems rushed and you're not able to sort of imbibe the full
I
depth of
see.
the present
Right, right.
moment.
Well, there's a principle that a lot of people talk about in mindfulness around the way we eat. So most
Yeah.
people just like shovel food into their face while they're watching TV or something. And there's someone who I respect a lot. He's a coach for the Seahawks. He taught us in one of our offsites to eat each bite of food like you're savoring each bite and you're celebrating each bite of food and for the nourishment it's giving you. I always thought that was great. And every once in a while I'll do that and I really savor and enjoy it. And it's quite a different experience
Mm.
when you're eating than if you just, shovel it back. Yeah.
Gulping. Yeah, yeah, no,
So let's
absolutely.
talk a little bit about support networks. I think this is something that's a relatively new topic because for a long time, people had a support network that was their family. But as those have broken down or you've sort of changed, people have to work harder to create support networks for themselves. So this was kind of a support network week for me. So I'm kind of top of mind. But I'd love to hear your
Mm.
perspective on that. And how do you coach your clients on support networks?
Thank you for that question because it's been brewing on my mind as well. As I've been, with everything happening in India,
I'll
situation
bet.
still
Yeah.
escalating, and just around the globe, through the pandemic, isolation, quarantine, I don't think people have needed to develop or be mindful about developing this network before. It used to just happen. Even if you were single, you would go out for drinks with your friends, or you just stand at the bar and talk to the bartender. Like there's nothing of that sort happening now. And so it's not like you need a clinical intervention to be mentally healthy. We're missing the social network, so to speak, the social support network. And I think that it's a new way of being. We have to be mindful about crafting it.
Mm.
And it's not because you're mentally weak or you can't be on your own, you're not self sufficient. It just is, it's going to make such a huge difference in your life if you can just have some time through the week where you can put your brain on speakerphone without the fear of being judged.
Right.
You know, have like someone just reflect those thoughts back to you. I think I've seen a lot of success with the people that I work with recently, just doing something as simple as either meeting with a coach on a weekly basis, or therapy if they need it, or like just simply as taking 5 minutes a day to journal and reaching out to one friend a week. It doesn't have to be 10 people. So I think it's really, really important in the current context to have at least 2 to 3 people in your network. It could be a therapist, it could be your coach, it could be a friend, it could be a relative, but identify 2 to 3 people who can be available for you without anything, like they don't have an agenda, like they're not trying to convince you whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, who can just be there and provide that neutral space for you to just voice what's going on in your head. I think that in itself can really help get clarity of mind and feel supported. A lot of the times people just need to feel heard.
Well, that lack of judgment issue is a big one. And people often feel judged, even sometimes when they're not being judged. But often people get judged. It's sort of a bit of a human thing we like to do to each other. So how do you find that friend who won't judge you? Or how do you coach up a friend to not judge you?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, because in my training as a coach, we're humans and then we're coaches. This thing would, like, there's so many judgments and unconscious biases that sort of show up. So it's a continuous training, first of all. And the second thing is, as far as it's concerned about, as far as friendships are concerned, you be that for that friend first. And then you'll be amazed by how that sort of gets reflected back to you. So if you have a friendship where you're feeling that you're constantly being judged, I invite you to look into how are you showing up for that friend.
Interesting. Look inside
because a lot
first.
of the communication,
Fascinating. Okay.
yeah, like a lot of communication is non-verbal. One, two, your actions speak louder than words. If you hold that space for them, and then that will impact the way they feel in your presence. And slowly but surely, it'll start to then create a safe space for you to even tell them that, hey, I feel judged when you say something like this in response to my expression of this particular thought. And once they feel that they're safe, I think it's an easy thing to do. So that's how I've seen that it's happened in all of my close friends. We can not talk to each other for years, but when we pick up the phone, there's just like no judgment, because I try to like do that for them first.
You're lucky to have friends like that. Okay, well, we don't have a lot of time, so can we do a quick meditation?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Quick meditation.
Well, actually, all kidding aside, I'd love to kind of, we've been doing a lot of breathing, and I got a lot of great feedback, particularly on the one nostril technique from our last show. But let's do something a bit different this time. You're great at leading meditations. Can you lead us in a 5-minute meditation? And it's like perfect amount of time.
Sure.
Actually, I wouldn't think of it as I don't have a lot of time to do meditation. I'm a big fan of meditation, by the way. I wouldn't say that I don't have a lot of time, but sometimes like you have 5 minutes, so you have a block, and you're between two meetings, and maybe there's a lot going on, and you need to recenter yourself. Getting a 5-minute mental break can be a really powerful way to show up really well for the next meeting. So I'd love to see what you would take us through in that front.
Yeah, I just want to take 30 seconds to first just say that there's nothing like a quick 5 minute. There's 5 minutes, and there's
I hear you
4
on
minutes,
that one.
right?
I hear you. Yeah.
And the second thing I want to say is that, and sometime we'll talk about the different states of meditation and there's different states of consciousness. If you're in the meditative state of consciousness, even a fraction of a second, even a second is very, very rejuvenating. So don't worry, even if you have 3 minutes, 2 minutes, but if you can totally drop everything, it's going to be very, very rejuvenating. So the way I approach meditation and the way I've been trained to facilitate meditation is it's not about concentration. It's not about doing something. Meditation is actually deconcentration and doing nothing.
Nice. I love that.
Okay.
I
It's
totally
doing
agree with you
nothing.
there. Yeah, totally agree with you.
Yeah.
That is because I have a lot of people. I talk to them about how much I meditate, and they're like, "Oh, I can't stand it." So my mind's racing, and I'm like, "Not mine." I'm like, I shut it down. That's the whole point. The other way, and I loved your comment a minute ago about even a second. You know what I think it is? Like if you can find it, and I'm getting pretty good at finding it now. It's like restarting your computer. If you can just, and I read an article on this in terms of like the way, like if you can just fall asleep sometimes just for a second, it resets your sympathetic nervous system like a hard restart. And so that's why just a second, if you can get to that state for just a second, you restart your whole system. You can shut down whatever out of control processes are going on in your brain and just get right back, get your core back to sort of simple processing again. It's like we're just computers.
Yeah.
They're just kind of fancy computers with clothes on, right?
I
So
love the analogy. And just one thing, and for all of those people who feel like they can't get their mind to shut down, the quietness in the mind is an outcome of a good meditative practice. It's not something that may happen during the meditation itself. So meditation, think of meditation as you're doing nothing. You're not resisting the thoughts. You're allowing for everything to come up and leave your system. So sometimes you may have a lot of thoughts. And if you're an intelligent person, your mind will have thoughts. And so if you close your eyes and thoughts are coming up, it doesn't mean that the meditation is not working. Having a quiet mind is an outcome of a good meditative technique. So don't be bothered. Just be committed to sitting with your eyes closed for 3 minutes only. And then you can build on it a minute and a minute. And that's where the advanced techniques can really help with that. So let's get started. Let's sit up nice and tall with the spine straight, back rested, and just sit easily and comfortably, whatever is comfortable for you. Palms are resting on your thighs, eyes are closed. And take a deep breath into the belly, into the chest till your collarbones lift up. Hold the breath. And as slowly as possible, breathe out through the nose. And just notice as you're breathing out, the body is getting relaxed. We'll do that just one more time. Take a full deep breath in. Hold the breath. Very, very slow exhalation through the nose. Relax the whole body. And now keep breathing normally. And for the next 2 or so minutes, we will just sit with this intention that I am doing nothing. I have a long list of things to do. I have many, many desires to fulfill and many identities I have. I'm a colleague, I'm a manager, I'm a parent, I'm a friend. But for the next 2 minutes or so, I keep all of that aside. I'll pick it all up when I open my eyes. Take another deep breath in. And slow breath out, relax. Keep breathing normally. Take a normal breath in, and as you breathe out, relax your shoulders and neck. Relax the forehead. Relax the eyebrows. Relax your eyes. Relax the lips. Keep a gentle stretch on your lips. It relaxes the facial muscles. Relax your jaws. Release the tongue from the palate. Normal breath in. And as you breathe out, relax your whole body. Become aware of your environment. Notice the sounds, if any. Become aware of the temperature of the air that's surrounding your body. Notice the light permeating through your eyelids. And right this moment, you are in complete harmony with whatever's happening in your environment. Breathe in and exhale, relax. Become aware of your thoughts and notice there may be some positive thoughts or some not so positive thoughts. Do not resist any thought. Just let them come. Right this moment, you are in complete harmony with your thoughts. Breathe in. Exhale, relax. Become aware of your feelings. Maybe there's a little bit of a rush. Maybe you're feeling a little tired or overwhelmed. Or maybe you're feeling happy and calm. Whatever it is, without any judgment and without any resistance, just let the feelings be. You're not trying to resist any feeling, and you're not in a rush to feel any which way. Right this moment, you are in complete harmony with your feelings. Breathe in. And as you exhale, relax. And just for 10 seconds, drop all your effort. Let the mind go where it wants to go. If there's any discomfort in the body, let it be. If feelings are coming up, let them come. Just for a few seconds, I do nothing. And breathe in. And breathe out. Slowly become aware of your body and surroundings. Take another breath in. And just feeling very grateful for this breath that keeps us alive. Bring your palms together, rub them, generate some heat. And place them on your eyes. Let the eyes absorb the heat. And when you're ready, you can slowly open the eyes.
Oh man, I needed that. That was great. Wow. This show came along in the nick of time today. All right. Thank you, Neha. That was great.
I'm glad. Thank you for having me. These are growing on me. I love being here.
Well, I love having you. All right. Well, I'm going to say goodbye for today. And for everybody out there, thank you for listening. This has been the CXM Experience. I'm here with Neha, the Breath Yogi, and we will see you next time.